Good morning, everyone. Do you have your coffee? Welcome to live stream number 10, Golden Gate Bridge and Verse. Good morning, Corky.
This song 45 years ago. It's about an imaginary fellow who is void of any compassion or empathy. And he proudly expresses it in every verse. Unfortunately, it's also turned out to be a premonition. She was a hot-blooded woman, running chills up and down his spine. Now she's got him crying in his wine. It don't impress me none, 'cause you can tell me about your troubles till you turn blue. No one's got them like I do. You got something you don't want, and it's one of a kind. The doctor said, son, you're running out of time. Well, you can tell me about your troubles till you turn blue. No one's got them like I do. Oh yeah. Jump off the bridge into the San Francisco Bay. Let the waters carry you away. It won't impress me none, 'cause you can tell me me about your troubles till you turn blue. No one's got them like I do. Well, I'm so sick and tired of hearing everyone complain about their little troubles raining on their baseball game. 'Cause you can tell me about your troubles till you turn blue. No one's got them like I do.
All right.
So, that song, No One's Got Them Like I Do, is part of the main inspiration for how chamber blues happened. And I'm going to tell you a little about that story in a bit, after I catch my breath. So, one of the first few concerts I did with Seiji Ozawa was at Tanglewood with the Boston Symphony in 1970. July 12th, 1970, 2:30 p.m. The artistic director, conductor, Seiji Ozawa. The co-artistic director, Gunther Schuller. The advisor, Leonard Bernstein. The assistant conductor, Michael Tilson Thomas. Composers are Prokofiev and Schoenberg, William Russo. The soloist, Peter Serkin. And the Corky Siegel Happy Year Band. That's what it says in the program. And that was because when
the band took a sabbatical in 1968 for a year. I was calling the band Happy Year Band, and when Jim Schwall joined the band again, eventually we called it Siegel Schwall. But this was just very soon after he joined. So it was a Happy Year Band. So after the concert, we went to cocktails and enjoyed cocktails with Madame Kusevitsky in her home. And I just remember experiencing in this amazing culture clash. You know, us walking in like gypsies, hippie gypsies. Jim Schwall, especially with his knapsack on his back and his work clothes and his engineer boots and his long hair, and, you know, all of us like really, you know, looking like that. And she just had the time of her life. It was really great. So it was at this place where I said to Seiji, you know, Arthur Fiedler called me, Seiji, and he wants to do this piece. And I know this is your baby. I mean, you came to us in 1966 and wanted to do this work, and it was your idea and everything. So I really, you know, I'm wondering, what are we going to say to Arthur? Because he's really been calling a lot and saying, please, you know, and he called me personally, I want to do this piece. And Seiji said, no, you must do the piece as much as possible with everyone you can. So I called Arthur Fiedler and I said, yes, we're gonna do it. So he wanted to present us on PBS Great Performances at Symphony Hall with the Boston Pops. And this was for 1971, and we're doing, you know, rehearsing. And at one point, Arthur decides he's going to leave this one section of the piece out, you know, because it was going to be TV and it had to be edited. It was a 20-minute piece. So he left out one of Jim's guitar solos. And I said, Arthur, we can't do that. I mean, artistically, it doesn't make sense. But also, politically, you know, I got to keep the band happy. This isn't good. Let's not complicate things. He used to say that when we're doing rehearsals. Someone in the orchestra would say, Arthur, let's add, you know, we should play this more fortissimo. And Arthur would go, snap. Let's not complicate things. And no matter what anyone said to him, he would just say, let's not complicate things. And then he'd say, let's, you know, do this with this section. And the orchestra would go, boo, and stamp their feet. It was not a romance, I will tell you that. Dear. And so I finally went to Arthur, knocked on his door, and I came in and he says, I know why you're here. You want to put that section back in, don't you? And I said, yes. He says, well, we're not going to do it. So I left. And I thought, you know, I just can't. This is just not going to work. So I knocked again a couple hours later. He said, I know why you're here. You want to put that section back in. I says, yes, Arthur, please, we really need to put that back in. He went, okay, we'll put it again. Just leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, we'll put it back in. So he was a pretty mean guy. So when Jim found out what had happened, I had told Jim the whole story. He bought Arthur this beautiful bottle. He did some research and found out what Arthur's favorite booze was. And he bought him this beautiful, I think it was a scotch. And so we went in, we knocked on Arthur's door, and we walked in, and the producers for Great Performances were all in his office. And Jim walked in with the bottle, and we're just standing there. And Arthur looks over. And so you got to understand one thing about Jim. He's an amazing guy. He housed 300 people, him and a partner in Madison, Wisconsin.
Homeless people.
Yeah, homeless people. Yeah. He housed 300 homeless people and got permanent care for them. He ran for mayor of Madison and turned all the politics right around in that town and got the people elected who we wanted elected. When I met Jim, he was writing operas. He's really an amazing genius and a beautiful guy. And he thought about bringing this bottle in to Arthur Fiedler. And we're just standing there. And Arthur looks over and everyone gets really quiet. And Arthur goes, "Is that for me?" And Jim said, yes. And Arthur, tears just started coming and rolling down his cheeks. He was so touched. And afterwards, when we talked to the producers, they said they never saw anything like that. They never saw anyone being so kind to Arthur and so sincere. They really loved that. Anyway, one of the things I used to do, I used to tease Arthur a lot. Just because he was so mean. When someone's mean and they're bringing this heaviness into a room, from a baby, I used to learn that, you know, you need to inject some levity in there, you know? So I would just, Arthur just had it coming from me constantly. And I always teased him. And so let me show you, should I show you this now? Yeah, let me show you this video. This is a part I forgot to tell you back in April of 2020. You know, how Arthur always used to say, let's not complicate things. When he asked me to write and compose some music for the San Francisco Symphony back in 1975, I sent him the score, and on the packaging I wrote, do not bend, do not fold, do not complicate. And Arthur really loved it. And when I was in San Francisco visiting him at the St. Francis Hotel to go over the score, we finished all the work and he didn't want to let me leave, and we just hung out and we were really, really good friends. And I worked a lot with him, and my little stepson Donald actually got to meet him and never forgot meeting Arthur, and everyone just loved him so much. The reason I want to show you this video is because it's really an example of the contrast of the teasing part. But this is like an amazing video. And I also want to show you why it was important to not leave that section of Jim Schwal's out of the piece. So this is just mine. Okay, let's see. Let me make sure I started right from the beginning. Okay. Well, okay, whatever. Okay, here we go. Okay, ready?
Tonight, from the Champagne and Flowers of Symphony Hall in Boston, it's Evening at Pops with Arthur Fiedler, Boston Pops Orchestra, and tonight's special guest, the Seiji Ozawa Blues Band. Boston's grand man of music, Arthur Fiedler, and special guest, the Seiji Ozawa Blues Band from Chicago, together on Evening at Pops. Corky Siegel plays electric piano and harmonica, and Jim Schwal is one of the best blues guitarists in the business. With Al Radford on bass and Shelley Plotkin drums, they've been in clubs and concert halls all over the country, from the Boston Tea Party and the Newport Folk Festival to the New York Philharmonic.
Now look at that. So here we are ready to go on with the Boston Pops on television live. We're backstage. In 5 seconds we're going to walk on stage. I grab Arthur's arm and I look up his sleeve. And he says, "What are you doing?" You'll see him say something to me. I'll say, "I just wanted to make sure you have nothing up your sleeve before we go on stage." So I'm going to back it up just a touch so you could see that whole scene. It's pretty wild. Okay.
They've been in clubs and concert halls all over the country, from the Boston Tea Party and the Newport Folk Festival to the New York Philharmonic and the Boston Symphony Orchestras. We come now to the featured portion of this Evening at Pops.
I'll let this run.
The Seiji Ozawa Blues Band joins Mr. Fiedler and the Pops in what's come to be a whole new musical sound, a symphonic orchestra doing Chicago blues. This is their first appearance with the Boston Pops. They'll begin with 3 pieces for blues band by William Russo.
1971, guys. Blue suits. A little bit of a contrast. a little less hair. Look at that hair. Anyway, so we did a lot of concerts with Arthur, a lot in San Francisco. And right in 1975, we were working on street music with William Russo. And in fact, I should tell you this quick story. I'm having dinner with Seiji Ozawa, William Russo, and myself. And Bill just finished composing street music. And he had the original score. And he hadn't done any copy work or anything yet. And we're having dinner and he went, you know what, I better go to my car. I left my briefcase in the car with the score in it. That wasn't smart. So I said to Seiji, I'm going to go with Bill. So I go with Bill and we walk about a block away where his car is parked. The windshield is broken. The briefcase is gone. And Bill just looks at me and he goes, it'll be better the second time.
Wow.
Unbelievable. That was Bill.
Incredible.
So anyway, we were in rehearsing street music and about to perform it and record it. And I got approached by the San Francisco Symphony, Martin Snipper, the head of the San Francisco Arts Commission, and they wanted me to be an artist in residence for a year in San Francisco. I made the mistake of saying, well, let me think about that and I'll get back to you. I should have just said yes. But in the meantime, they wanted me to write a piece for Arthur Fiedler and the San Francisco Symphony. And I said, no, I never wrote anything before. I couldn't possibly do that. And Martin Snipper said, oh, sure you could. And I thought, okay, I don't live in San Francisco. Whatever happens when I write this piece is, So anyway, it's going to be for 6,000 people in the Civic Auditorium. And so I should show you how the process started, because I didn't know anything about composing for symphony or anything at all. I did take basic music theory at Roosevelt University, but that was it. So the first thing I did is I got a little book on music notation, how to write the notes, Then I got a score so I could see how other people do what they do, like Mussorgsky and Ravel. And then I got a book on orchestration, and you could see my little notes in there. And then I agreed to do it, but only if Bill Russo would help me. And Bill said, yes, I should go ahead and write the score, and he'll help me. So I wrote the score, and I sent it to Bill, and he says, what do you want me to do? You did everything. He said, well, I could add a couple horn parts, okay? I went, yeah, okay. So anyway, it was 3 sonatas. It was going to be 3 arrangements, chamber blues, symphonic blues style arrangements of my pieces. And here's one of them, with a score from one of them. And you could see, commissioned by the city of San Francisco Symphony. Premiere was 1976. And special acknowledgments to William Russo for coordinating all the copy work. and for putting the finishing touches on the final score. And oh, by the way, this is Russo's street music. This is not the score he lost. This is
See, it's all hand
all hand. And he says here,
penned with quill pen.
with generous help from Corky Siegel, for who this work was written. And you could see some just beautiful handwritten music. And then for the pieces that I wrote, this is just one of them. There's some, you could see, Russo's handwriting when he replicated the score and did the parts. And then I was commissioned again to write more pieces for the Grand Park Symphony and the National Symphony. And this was it here, Southwest Coast Blues, an arrangement of it for a symphony. And I did those pieces all over the world. And then I was commissioned again to write a piece for the Grand Park Symphony, and I wrote a piece called Blues for a Green Planet, which I wasn't in. It was just, but David Amram conducted, and I gave him a little solo, and you could see. But this is where the computer came in. This is where my life was saved, because I was able to write everything in a computer. So basically, that's how I did it.
And I just want to add, at the same time, Corky was also performing at the Rock Palaces with his group.
Siegel Schwall.
At the Siegel Schwall, at the Fillmore.
And the Avalon.
And the Avalon, and the famous, this is with one Corky did with Tracy Nelson, her band, and Fillmore. Quite a lineup here. Sly and the Family Stone, Siegel Schwall, Jeff Beck. And that's, back in the day when you played for like a week. So quite an extraordinary
Each venue, you played a
history.
week. You'd play a week or like 3 days at the least at every
Here's the Avalon with our friend Buddy Guy, Siegel Schwall, the Avalon. So at the same time he was doing symphony, he was still playing at the Rock Palaces.
So anyway, the way I did it was, and I want everyone to know this, anyone who's a musician who thinks they can't write symphonic music, if you sit around with a blues band, or if you sit around, especially with a jazz band, or any kind of a rock band, and figure out arrangements, you already know more than people who have studied composition and how to write symphony music. If you know what an oboe sounds like, if you know what a clarinet sounds like, you know what a violin, you can do it. I did it, and it was a great success. We performed in front of 6,000 people at the Civic Center, and from that I got all these other commissions. So I did a lot of stuff in San Francisco. As you can see, San Francisco was very good to me. So I wrote a love song to California. And it's a very poetic song, poetic and meaningful to me. And I'll give you some of the words. Standing on Nevada's shoreline, gazing out into the seaside, watching California bubble underneath the ocean tide. Memories of trolley cars, memories of Hollywood, memories of all those stars, they disappeared without a word. First the shaking, then the thunder. I guess it all just slipped right under. Goodbye, California. The Lord has trouble making his mind up. He giveth, he taketh. Well, that's the way things wind up. Goodbye, California. So it goes on like that. And the song is like a serious song and a poetic song for me, but when I play it, it's amazing. People laugh. They will be rolling on the floor, but I just wanted to... Standing on Nevada's shoreline, gazing out into the seaside, watching California bubble underneath the ocean tide. Memories
memories of trolley cars and memories of Hollywood and memories of all those stars. They disappeared, they disappeared, they disappeared without a word. First the shaking, and then the thunder. I guess it all just slipped right under. Goodbye, California. The Lord is trouble, making his mind up. He giveth, he taketh, and that's the way things wind up. Goodbye, California. Millions of people on the virgin coastline crying tears into the brine, some for the gold, some for the lies, some for the ones that they'll never find. It'll take a lot of rain and a lot of time to dress the wounds that hurt inside, and for the one I love that I never find, she'll always burn there on my mind. First the shaking, and then the thunder. I guess it all just slipped right under. Goodbye, California. The Lord is trouble, making his mind up. He giveth, he taketh, well, that's the way things wind up. Goodbye, California. First the shaking, and then the thunder. I guess it all just slipped right under. Goodbye, goodbye, California. The Lord is trouble, making his mind up. He giveth, he taketh, well, that's the way things wind up. Goodbye, California. Standing on Nevada's shoreline, gazing out into the seaside, watching California bubble underneath the ocean tide. Thoughtless, heartless, cruel Pacific, soaking up Nevada's shore. You'll not have California's coast to slap round anymore. Goodbye, California. So you can find Goodbye, California on two versions of it. One is on the Complementary Colors album from Chamber Blues. Oh no, wait, is it on that? Yes, Goodbye California is on that. Mm-hmm. And it's also on Solo Flight, a totally different version of it. Okay, so now a word from our sponsor. We have no sponsor. And now back to our regular programming. So I think we've gone long enough.
Okay.
And we're going to end this live stream. I'm going to just do a little doodling on the piano for a while. Okay. And then I'll wave. And we'll say goodbye. And I'll see you guys on Friday
we're already planning something special for Friday.
Extra special.
Is there anything I left out, Holly, that I need to say?
Stay safe.
Okay.
Stay home. Stay
And while
happy.
Holly is shooting, by the way, you should all know she's giving me directions. Speak up, do this. Okay. This is going to be a theme song. Okay, I think. Bye-bye, see you Friday.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.